Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday morning, June 15th, 2019 to you. I've always been curious what kind of person owns and operates a hostel. As you know, I'm really getting quite taken with the hostel life, especially I think if you're a social person. There's some amazing aspects to hostel living. You meet people from all over the world. This morning I met two guys from Slovakia. The gentleman I'm going to interview owns the hostel, the Camelot Hostel, Camelot Inn Hostel here in Salt Lake City, which is actually two buildings, a couple doors apart here in near downtown core Las Vegas. A great location. I think he's an amazing person. He comes from Mozambique, which, if you don't know, is off the coast of East Africa. And the island of Madagascar, the island country of Madagascar, is to the east of that. As he'll probably tell you in an interview, he escaped communism 2 times and eventually ended up here in the United States. But I've been very curious to find out what drew him to wanting to own and operate a hostel. What are some of the great aspects of it? What are some of the downside aspects of it? And what he thinks overall about the whole hosteling experience and why he would be drawn to it. So, without any further ado, let's meet Arthur. I'm here with Arthur, the very fascinating owner-operator of the Camelot Inn Hostels here in Salt Lake City, Utah, and you're building an empire here. You have
thank you. That's very nice.
2 buildings. Here's one of the buildings here, and certainly Arthur likes color. You could tell by the buildings
happy
here.
colors.
Happy colors, and you seem to be a very happy, high-energy person.
Thank you.
Were you raised in Mozambique?
Yes, I was raised in Mozambique.
And for those of you who don't know,
I was born and raised in Mozambique. It's in the south of Africa.
Mm-hmm.
It's parallel to Madagascar. It's southeast of Africa. And yep, that's where I was raised.
And you're the owner-operator of this establishment.
The bank owns everything. But
well, the bank owns everything.
But my wife and I.
Yeah, and is that Carla?
Yes,
yeah,
Carla.
She's a wonderful person, and
Thank
I
you.
met her, and she was on the video. What brought you? You were talking about dodging communism for 2 times
Yes,
down.
so basically, when I was in Mozambique, it's a long story because my father helped when he was before Mozambique was taken over by the communists and by the Africans. My dad used to help the black people learn how to read and write. He had to do it in the bathroom so that he wouldn't get caught because he was white. If he got caught, he'd get punished for that. Wow. So that when the black people took over, they made him kind of a small little politician. And so when the communism took over, my mother wanted us to leave, and so when we had to tell them we were going to a wedding, or they wouldn't let us cross the border.
Okay.
So we ran away from Mozambique to the next door neighboring country called Rhodesia.
Yeah, were you able to take any assets with you?
No, just everything in one car. And
wow.
And when we were crossing the border, my mother's best friend that was communist brainwashed. When she found out that we ran away, she called the border patrol, and right when we were crossing the border, right when we were in that Rhodesia, Zimbabwe, now it's called Zimbabwe border, they started calling us back. And I was little, and I looked in the back, and I thought they were actually waving goodbye. They were not. They were calling us back. So we barely made it, escaped, and then we went to Rhodesia, and we had to run again when Mugabe took over and became a president.
Yeah.
Because he was communist.
Robert Mugabe. Yeah.
Mugabe. But the second time we were more careful. We already knew what had happened. We before it got bad, we put everything in a container and we left Rhodesia, Zimbabwe, to Portugal, our mother country.
Well, yes, and you speak fluent Portuguese. And
you too. Your English is pretty good.
Thank you, thank you very much. For an American, my English is pretty good there. So, what attracted you to? You are a Mormon. What attracted you to the hostel? Wanting to own and operate a hostel. What was your professional career before you?
I basically was a landlord before. And I liked working with when what attracted me to this industry is that I like working with travelers.
That's amazing.
My wife is a flight
You have
attendant.
an amazing outgoing personality, and you're very hospitable to
Thank
people
you.
that come in.
I mean, there are a lot of things I need to learn. I'm not perfect like nobody is. I'm a sinner, imperfect man that needs to repent every day and become better every day.
Well, you're amazing. You run a great hostel.
Thank you. I'm trying
what are
hard.
the challenges of running a hostel? What would you say is the biggest challenge?
The challenge for me is because I didn't get any official training.
Okay.
I never worked in a hostel and learned how to run a hostel, so I had to learn from the travelers. I got feedback. I had to learn. It was hit and miss till we got a right formula. Because if you don't run the hostel right, you could actually have people that come in the hostel and do drugs and, and cause a lot of problems. So we had to decide what we wanted to specialize in. So we wanted to specialize in real travelers. And the locals that stay with us, they have to qualify. They have to fill out an application.
Oh, wow.
Because we don't want the locals messing up things for
like
Rosie.
Exactly.
That's here to travel. Rosie doesn't want to have someone come in and say,
Right.
"Can you spare me $1?" Or
well, it's interesting. You asked me to pre-send driver's license, and we filled out some
Yeah.
background information.
Yeah.
So I thought that was very amazing to sort of screen people so you would have the environment that you
Exactly.
wanted to have here.
Because you have the right, because you have a credit card and you're a real traveler, you have the right to be in a place that's safe.
Right.
That you're not going to feel like you want to run and lock your door because you saw a dodgy person there.
Right.
You want to feel comfortable. You saw when you were at the other hostel that we were building.
Right.
You felt safe there.
Oh,
You
it's
didn't feel like
incredible.
someone was about to take over, ask you for money or anything. So that was the number one challenge, is be able to come up with a system that allowed the real travelers to enjoy the hostel experience.
Right.
And still be able to help locals, because there are locals that are between apartments,
Right.
and they do need
Oh, well,
the hostel
okay.
to
Some
help them.
transitional housing between.
Mhm. So with us, if they pay with a credit card, it's not just anybody that can have a credit card. If they pay
Right.
with a credit card, we don't even have to check their credit. The bank
Right.
already did that for
Yeah,
us.
that's good.
A real credit card, not
Well, I
prepaid card.
noticed not having that background in hosteling, you actually made a mini hotel. You didn't even make a hostel.
You're right.
You made a mini hotel. The bathrooms are better than what you would find in a 5-star hotel in Bellagio in Las Vegas. It's amazing the money that you poured into your kitchen for the appliances, the refrigerator.
Yeah, and it's not even done there yet.
Yeah.
We were like halfway. We have a lot more to do. And so basically, the thing that happened is in the beginning when we started the hostel here, this hostel we're at, this is the oldest one we have, the Camelot Inn Hostel.
Right.
We were doing it like the other hostels. We would just leave the linen there and the travelers would make their own
Right.
bed. But then my mother didn't like that the travelers would come tired and they would, instead of you making the bed, they would just get
Exactly.
the comforter put on top, and it was very hard to wash the comforter. So my mother said, you know what, we're going to stop making the beds. So our hostels are more hotels.
Yeah, it was amazing. The towel is in there waiting. Most places you'll pay $1 for a towel and
Yeah.
towel rental. Went in there, the beds were already made. Usually
All
they hand you the sheets and
Yep.
you make your own.
You know that.
I
Rosie.
know that.
You
I
know
know
that.
that.
And so ours is, the conclusion is it's more of a hotel because we only have 2 dorm rooms, a male and a female dorm room that people share.
Right.
Typical hostels have a lot of dorm rooms.
Yes, they do.
We specialize more in private rooms, and the rooms look like hotel rooms.
They do.
And cleanliness is very important for us. So
I mean,
so
it's-
anybody that's listening to this, if you're going to start a hostel, give dignity to a hostel and help travelers experience a good experience with a hostel like that.
Okay. So the biggest challenge is getting the right people in that you want to get in, and the pre-screening. You don't allow people to just walk up and say,
No.
I need a new room for the night. So it makes it more safe. And I already met 2 gentlemen from Slovakia today that came, and it was very fascinating. Would you recommend? I mean, I know you're always in motion. You're never sitting still. I've never seen you sitting down. You are always, you do Tai Chi. Qigong, you teach it too.
Yes.
And how do you get
that's
so
why
much?
that's why I'm taking Qigong. I'm mastering in Qigong
Yeah.
and teaching Qigong so I can actually learn to be more still.
How do you get so much energy?
That's a very good question. Because of what I went through,
Oh,
where I almost died and lost my life, I I appreciate life so much because I almost lost it.
And you appreciate America too.
Oh,
the people that
definitely.
live here.
Oh, I'm
we
an
may
American
lose our-
citizen now.
Yeah, we may lose our appreciation. And I notice when foreigners come here, especially ones that are being sort of prosecuted or at risk for not towing the communist line or whatever, they seem to appreciate America a lot more and the freedoms we have
yeah.
here.
This to me, I don't know any other country that I've been in that has more freedom than the United States, and also good organizations with volunteerism. I've never seen a place where there's so many volunteer organizations. People volunteer, and they have a volunteer committee to regulate this. So many wonderful things in this country.
You're an amazing person. We're going to wrap it up, and I'm telling you, if you're ever in Salt Lake and you're looking for a hostel, and it's for social people, right? If you're not a social person, don't worry about it. Don't bother coming to a hostel, or maybe you should, to find out how nice it can be to meet people. You and Carla and the guys from Slovakia and all the other people. It is a wonderful, wonderful experience. And you really have a mini hotel. You don't even have a hostel. You have a mini hotel.
And just one quick thing I can say. Our hostel also caters to the shy people because we have a self-check-in, self-check-out, where you can literally check in and check out by yourself without having to talk to anybody.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Thank you so much for your time, Arthur. I'll let you get back in motion again.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, thank you.
Thank you
and
so
there
much,
he goes.
Rosie.
Thank you.
You're a wonderful human being.
Have a
God
wonderful
bless you.
day. Okay, thank you.